Hey everyone, welcome back to Velocity, where today, Jaiden Animations honestly deserves an apology. His whole situation is kind of crazy. If you haven't heard anything about it, I'm going to be going over it in this video today. But yeah, Jaiden Animations has really been on the receiving end of a lot of bad stuff, and it kind of seems unrelenting. But quickly before we start this video, like this video right now, otherwise you're rotten egg. Anyway, let's get into it. So Jaiden Animations is a hugely popular animation YouTuber. She's one of the biggest animation channels. I know she's good friends with the Odd Ones Out, who's another massive animator, and yeah, she's very well known for her animations, and in most of her videos, much like all the other animation YouTubers, she has a character that represents herself. She has this character of Jaiden, who is her in her videos, and like when she tells stories about her life, that's the character that she uses to represent herself. So you know, it's not just any cartoon character, it is the creator, it's the representation of the creator in the videos. And honestly, if you haven't seen any of her videos, I would recommend going to check them out. I feel like right now she's under a lot of fire, so it's well worth watching the videos to sort of see just how deeply embedded this character is to her videos, and how it's not just a side character, like it is her content. Similar to how Domix, if you know him, has himself in all his videos, she has herself in all the animations that she does. And I mean, this was all well and good when she was just animating for herself, but now she's a massive, like huge YouTuber, and I mean, you can kind of guess the kind of response that it attracts, because there's so many people that see these animations, and then there's a certain type of artist who feel the need to sort of take advantage of the fact that they now have this character. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, if you're an animator online or a creator online, there are a certain type of, let's say, not safe for work artist who feel the need to draw your comics. Unless you like copyright your character, they are going to be drawing it, and they are going to be making content about it for their own personal gain, because they know that you have a fan base who might want to see this content. And honestly, the whole concept of it is just gross. Like, there's a lot of people who take advantage of it online, and yeah, it's been going on forever. It kind of goes on with all animation YouTubers, but Jaiden's character in particular has been targeted quite a lot, as she's one of the biggest and one of the few female online animators. And there's one guy in particular who seems to be completely devoted to drawing this character. I'm gonna blur out his name and like his @ in all of this, because I don't want to give any more attention to his account, but I actually saw this whole situation begin with this tweet, part 14 of one of his comics, and then he talks about his Patreon, and yeah, it's Jaiden's character. And then this person replies, "There's been quite a stir recently. Has Jaiden actually responded about the content? At least now we know she doesn't approve or encourage of making art of her character, which I get. Not sure if the comics are gonna stop because of that, since..." And yeah, it's one of those things where obviously she doesn't want that to be made of herself, but this guy, after hearing she doesn't want it to be made of herself, but she'll just ignore it, decides to reply with, "I don't intend to stop, but I do understand and appreciate her response." What does that even mean? You understand and appreciate her response so much that you're gonna keep going against exactly what she says. I don't think you actually understand or appreciate it at all, and I think you want to make money off her character. Realistically, this guy just kind of seems like a total weirdo. And there's been a lot of videos and a lot of sort of commentary about this whole situation online, to the point where Jaiden actually felt the need to respond. She responded in this tweet: "Apologies for the semi-late response. I don't open Bird app anymore. I hope everyone can respect my view on this stuff," where she said, "My main problem with that content is it's too accessible to minors, which she's actively trying to fix. Yes, I don't technically approve of that content drawn of the Jaiden character, but it's not something I'm actively upset by. I understand that it will exist and have moved on. I appreciate my followers being concerned over my well-being, but this isn't something you need to defend me from. I'm not saying I condone it, but I also don't condone relentlessly harassing artists. Please stop attacking people on my behalf. I would just like you to uphold respect and boundaries and try to keep it within your community. Overall, I just want it to be ignored and everyone to move on just as I have. I hope everyone can respect that." And I think that's probably one of the most sort of overly political YouTuber responses I've ever seen on Twitter. Like, this is so crazy to me, the way that this reads, like she has a gun held to her head by an artist. But I guess if that's her genuine opinion, then who am I to criticize? Who am I to say that she should have a different opinion than that? And obviously, because it's a chance to get more eyes on them, the artist replied, "Jaiden, I can't appreciate you enough for saying something about all of this. I know that I may have come off like a douche the other day in my comment about my intent to continue drawing your Sona, and I know that doing so is rude and disrespectful, but I hope you know I have drawn what I've drawn strictly because I enjoy drawing it. not to be edgy, not to be vengeful for you not liking it or anything petty like that. I just want you to know that myself and those like me who draw that kind of content draw it because we love your content. I know that with how this stuff and who we draw is generally seen to the public, it can be hard to interpret what we create as a sign of respect or anything like that, but for us, it is genuinely just fan art like anyone else's, just drawn with an explicit genre. You have been very chill about the work we do, and although I know you don't encourage or want what we create, I truly want to thank you for not letting those feelings sour into justification of threats and harassment towards us. Thank you, Jaiden. You're a great person, and we're all very excited to see what you and others have in store for the future. And I can't lie, I feel like this guy just completely missed the mark here. Like, I know a lot of people are happy with this response, but the fact that he is even responding, bringing more eyes towards his profile where he has NSFW content of this creator is just ridiculous. Like, please just leave it alone. She said that she wants it to be left alone and ignored, so don't send a tweet that is directly addressed to her. Like, am I crazy for thinking this? I know that the whole situation was probably addressing this one guy, but I do feel like he should have just left it alone. Like, I don't know. And I think it really just highlights one of the biggest problems in being a creator, in that even if you say you don't like that kind of content, some people, in order to make some money off their Patreon, are still going to disrespect those boundaries. Some people are still going to make that content that you've said you don't like. You've said that you don't enjoy it, but because you've said not to go and harass them, they think that that opens the floodgates. That lets them do what they want. I think it's a real shame because reading Jaiden's response, it kind of feels like she's just accepted that it happens. And I guess it's one of those things that when you have that much experience as a creator, you kind of understand that, yeah, it's just gonna happen. You just kind of have to accept that there is that sort of content gonna be drawn of you if you're a YouTube animator, and it sucks. But I mean, in fairness, this was the only way that this was ever gonna get resolved. Jaiden was just gonna say her piece, and this guy was gonna keep drawing it. I think it would take a lot more, like some sort of lawsuit or copyright infringement, for this guy to stop drawing that kind of art, but honestly, that just sounds like more of a headache for the creators that have already had to deal with enough online. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this situation. Leave a comment down below on what your opinion is, because honestly, I would be genuinely interested to hear some other opinions about this. I know that I've been pretty anti this one guy because I feel like he's just kind of a creep and he's using that character to make more money for his Patreon. But yeah, leave a comment down below what you think, and leave a like if you enjoyed, or watch one of the videos on screen if you enjoyed this video. There's loads more like it. There's more coming out almost every day. I would say every day, but I do sometimes miss a day. But yeah, new videos every day. Make sure you subscribe down below, and yeah, I'll see you next time.